For those of you OGs, man, I haven't been down this road in a long time. Yes, sir. Oh, here it is, dude. The old gas station. I don't even know if it's still there anymore. The old VP. Nope, it's now a deli or something. I don't know. All-wheel drive tuning, boys. Oh, I don't scrape my... Oh, God. Oh, I think I'm losing my front bumper. Oh, this thing's way lower than I thought it was. Damn. Bumper is on-ish. Nope. Hey. We're good. We're back, boys. All-wheel drive tuning. It's been about 10 years.
Many months later.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are so back. I also cut the heck out of my hand and can barely feel a thing, but hey, look at my Subaru. I'm so excited. Hey, she sounds so good. Woo, dang. Oh, and here we go. We got a brand new, oh, is this it? This is Cody's? Oh, damn. So that was one of the first 2024 or 5? I don't know, Mustangs in existence. So that's kind of cool. Cody owns that. We're at all-wheel drive tuning, ladies and gents. We dropped off the STI a bit ago, and they have done a lot of love, a lot of TLC to the Subaru. The last time you guys saw it, I did a turbo install, and I had no supporting mods, and I drove it around on its base tune for a long time. Now, it's got a base map, a bit of a tune on it. She looks good. God dang. I'm excited to drive it around. We ended up doing a ACT twin disc, so that's gonna be, I mean, that's awesome. We also did Beachworks injectors and some more stuff. I'll probably let Keith and Mary talk about what's going on, but I'm so happy to have this thing back. Keith's on the dyno with a pretty sweet Supra. So we've done several things to this bad boy. Had so much else going on. They've just kind of let me keep the car here for a while, which is fantastic. Prepare to be amazed. Okay, I cannot use that hand. Voila! It looks the exact same. That's because it pretty much is. So if you guys don't remember, Force Performance made this sort of FP Blue in stock body form. So it's a slightly bigger turbo, like it's a big turbo, but it's the stock size, stock location and everything. So gets you a little bit more horsepower. We did do new injectors and then a lot of maintenance stuff. I think it's cool about all drive tuning is they have all the maintenance things and they are fantastic. They even just got a new AC servicing machine. All the OEM plus stuff you need, they got it here. So we got Beachworks 1000cc injectors. So the goal for this car eventually, guys, you know, for a long time I've talked about doing grip or time attack racing. That's sort of maybe the goal eventually. But for now, I just want to make it a fun car that makes a little bit more power, that's all pretty, that I can just, you know, take it to the track every now and then, probably do a couple quarter mile or eighth mile passes and just see how it is. But we have a couple restrictions, so to speak. The thing that makes this car interesting is that, I mean, it has a lot of history with all-wheel drive tuning. I wanted to continue to utilize all the stuff that we used to have. That we did 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I brought this car to all-wheel drive tuning, this exact car, and they did a stage 2, I think, rebuild on the engine. It's still kicking. But also the caveat to this old setup is I still have this old Cobb access port, and that's what we're using at the moment. And it doesn't adhere to the new Green Speed laws, and so we can't put it on the dyno. It's gonna throw check engine lights and stuff like that. So we have a few caveats there. I mean, the goal for this car is to put it on a standalone, do a much bigger fuel system. We have the injectors, but I think we did a pump, but I cannot remember. So shout out to Beachworks. I was talking to them about the Green Speed stuff. I've talked to you guys in STI vlogs, literally, like, I remember having a vlog when I was in college, which was 8-9 years ago, however long ago that was. I was like, dude, I'd love to put, like, you know, a dog box and cage the car and race it. So like, eventually I think the idea, in order to make a race car, you should just have a standalone. But standalone, big fuel system, all that kind of stuff and all the fun stuff. But at the moment, I guess we're just working with an old setup that what we got. And
yeah, I mean, back whenever you first decided to modify this, the industry had a much different perspective on what was a desirable modification.
Exactly.
And a lot of modern changes that Cobb's initiated and had to, pass along to their consumers, it's just made it more challenging to navigate those waters properly and still make the power that you want for the budget you want. And if you have a lot of those things that were gone before, it can be quite costly.
Yeah, I hadn't mentioned that yet, but that was sort of something that we were in discussions about when I first dropped the car off. So the question was like, do we, I guess, the Green Speed, like to make it emissions compliant again?
Is it a good value for you or the consumer to even consider that option, or just turn it into a race car and just do what you want?
Because you were saying, so in order to do that, you have to put, what is it? It's evap. It's like, what is all the stuff that you would need to?
In this case, it'd be the TGVs, the air pump deletes.
So all the stuff that people used to delete that was cool and like, that was the thing back then.
Yeah,
you put it back in, and it's what, like $5 to $6 grand or so. It was crazy, and so I guess we kind of I had to make a decision. I was like, well, you know what? The long-term goal isn't necessarily to just do the Green Speed stuff, and there's a lot of really cool, like, Cobb compliant Green Speed stuff out there. I mean, you guys have a Green Speed car that makes...
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely be done.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that a lot of people are faced with that decision, and, if you have all those parts intact, then you can spend all that money on performance, but if you don't, then you have to make that tough decision and figure out if it's still a car you want to take to that level.
Yeah.
Another option for a lot of the guys out there who do decide to go more the race car route is with M-tron ECUs. So those have fully integrated CAN functionality. So on most modern Subarus, basically from 07 and up, all of their engine management and body control module and all the subsystems are all tied together on a basically a wireless network, which is known as a CAN. It's taken some time for modern ECUs that are available to the consumer level to be researched and developed enough to be able to be plug and play for applications like this. But they finally have caught up to that as an option. So,
which I think that for what the goal is for me, like that seems a little more.
And if you're going to run like, especially if you have plans on running bigger cams and you're going to actually be competitive in the race car scene, the safety features that you can integrate in with those add a lot of practicality to the race car life, because Subarus are temperamental.
You can't say that.
So you have to take some considerations. It's good to keep an eye on your coolant temps and your oil temps, and a lot of the older ECUs like this don't have that function.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're really going to go out there and send it at the track, it's nice to integrate those safety features in, so at least you have an opportunity to achieve what you're trying to do and still drive home.
Yeah, there's not a maximum amount of things that you want to accurately monitor for race cars, that's for sure. But I think the idea is a slow burn, I guess, with the car. I love the car and I want to keep it forever. I'd like to do time attack in it, because that was always my initial goal with it. And I think the all-wheel drive stuff they're fun to drive if you set them up, suspension wise, set them up nicely. But for now, I was like, you know what? Let's put the 10-year-old build not to the test, but just utilize what we have and show that, like, hey, the stuff we did 10 years ago, it's still kicking. I got a new turbo. I mean, it's amazing that that it has survived this long, especially through multiple owners, and it's kind of especially through me. A testament to just how good the build was even then. Obviously, our standards have become more strict with how we would like to be perceived by the world. So we have a little bit more higher standards for head refreshes. Are no longer just like an in-house thing. We actually have the valve seats cut every single time. Not that it's an anomaly or anything, but it's cool and it's impressive. And I think I really wanted to utilize just, I don't know, the old school setup that we did once upon a time. I guess opinion on the car as it sits. I mean, I think that if we were to tune this, this particular turbo on ethanol, it'll be a super fun street car. To be able to have the power on tap with the manual. Really what the car is designed to do is to have that super fun, very useful torque curve where you can really pull it out of a corner hard. I'm excited to even this little like FP Blue, like I feel like it's gonna wake it up a little bit. I've literally only known this car stock turbo its whole life. And so never been able to utilize anything fun out of it. So
I mean, the factory turbo hit's like, you know, instantaneous, but it does fall off pretty rapidly. And this, you know, this FP Blue insert compressor wheel should at least carry the torque curve out a little further. You know, once we do actually get the tune finished out, then you're going to really be able to enjoy it.
I'm excited. I think, I mean, this car means a lot, and I think that it'll be fun to sort of like build it up slowly, because obviously it's been 10 years since I did all that and we're still going. I think the idea really is getting really good parts on it. Eventually it'd be really cool to have just a billet block. No, but like a sleeved or, you know, just closed deck sort of thing, and just a usable setup, you know, that's fun. But and then I just, yeah, take your word from there. And
yeah, and then you know, if we decide to go the race car route, then we can integrate more fun things like, you know, anti-lag and on tap.
Yes. I love flames. I'm so excited. So what are you wanting to see next steps on this? It looks cool right now, but, you know, needs to be raised a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
But yeah, just, you know, making it usable and you know, having a lot of the cool tuning features that, you know, not only make pops and bangs, but, you know. But anyways, I digress.
A lot of this, like a lot of the parts, is kind of like museum, because like this intercooler you can't even get anymore.
Well, even so, isn't Grim Speed's that?
This is no longer around.
Yeah, so it's cool. You know, we'll keep it on the wall or something, put it on the pegboard. But yeah, I think
some modernizing to do for sure.
Yeah, right.
It was a super great budget part at the time, but
hey, what's 19? We're gonna Best Buy, bro. I can only afford so much stuff. But
I worked at Best Buy when I was 19.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's cool. But yeah, it'll be cool to refresh everything. I mean, like even your car, like just a nice intake manifold, like a little clean up the bay, standalone type stuff with probably a. Do you recommend still having a front mount on like performance cars? That actually, that's my question.
So with us being in a state like Texas where we have a lot of heat soak,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that the EJ platform definitely needs all the help it can get keeping things cool and running healthy.
Well, especially in a road course car. I mean, like you're doing laps on laps on laps. Like that's gonna get hot.
So that is a different kind of challenge. You know, the EJ does struggle with heat management,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get a big core in front of the radiator, different challenge too. So
Massive fans.
it can be pretty extravagant, and that's where a lot of people run into a challenge of having the power that they want
Mm-hmm.
on a racetrack and still managing the heat properly.
Yeah.
Without bumping their class, because that.
Oh, that's fair too. Because then it's like, well, okay, a lot of restrictions, I guess, that I got to start. A lot of guidelines you got to start adhering to, and you forget about those things till you start driving. So interesting.
So that's usually
Get
what I
involved
do
in.
is I'll sit down with people, and that's one of the reasons we do all those consultations with people, is because, you know, they have an idea in their mind what they want to achieve, and, you know, maybe they haven't given a lot of consideration to those other details. You know, we'll come in and we'll get the rule book for whatever class they want to participate in and help them build the car around that
Yeah,
way.
sure.
That way it's less stressful for them, and we can make sure the car performs where it needs to.
Well, and you guys do that for more than just Subaru now too. So
Yeah.
not just now, you guys always have, but even like the A90 in there.
Yeah.
Tuning Subarus, BMWs, M2. You got an M2.
Yeah, we've been
Trouble.
tuning Nissans almost as long as Subarus. Obviously, our name just does give the implication.
I have a funny sticker that says rear-wheel drive tuning in the Subaru right now. That's pretty good, but really excited about it. I mean, I guess we'll do a little bit of tuning with it on the street, I suppose.
We'll just go out and make sure it's performing as best it can with what we're, with the parts that we're working
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
With the bigger injectors, we can at least have 2 different maps. We can have an ethanol map, so you'll be able to
Okay.
really push the
I'm
car
excited about
hard.
that.
Yeah.
I love me some E.
Yeah, that's definitely a good recipe for power.
We'll move on to that, but happy to have the car back. I ended up doing MA Performance's equal length manifold on this car, and it sounds so good because it's like I don't even know. It's like it still sounds so good. Oh man, and the car already just idles and is just to the ACT clutch, nuts. I'm stoked to have it back, guys. This is amazing. Okay, baby, we drove it a little bit on the street. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get this thing on a standalone because it's gonna be awesome. Do all the race car things that I'm used to doing in all of my other absolute turds of cars. Green Speed thing is, they got kind of reamed by the EPA, and it is what it is, but it's kind of thrown the whole Subaru world for a loop, and I'm interested and excited to get, you know, something that we can just do full tuning capabilities on with this. I'm also testing some more products that, again, you're gonna be hearing me say that a lot here pretty soon, but testing some more products on the car, but I'm so excited to have it back. All-wheel drive cleaned it really nicely, then it rained. And then if you guys don't know, if you guys don't follow my Instagram, at Flat Coast, where I just ripped the e-brake in my driveway, and that also got really dirty because of that. So I'm gonna start letting my intrusive thoughts win more and make some cool content with all my cars of me just driving them. But yeah, it's so cool, man. I'm super grateful for Keith and Mary and all the people at All Wheel Drive Tuning. I'm really excited for you guys to see what we're up to. Obviously, if you guys follow my Instagram, you'd know that my LS Pro car is there right now getting finished, and I'm actually like bringing up the last bits and pieces today so that we can get the car running. I might be at LS Fest, but I won't be driving. Too much of a time crunch. It's too much to do. We unfortunately couldn't make it, but we have been working so hard on the LS car, and I don't know, I'm just grateful for Keith and Mary. Known them for a very long time, and the fact that they reached back out and just wanted to continue to work together and build some cool stuff that's not just Subarus was really awesome too. So it's been a long road with this car, and I'm very excited to have it back. Feast your eyes out. Got my little Shanks Racing logo on there. I feel like it's kind of weird to have it on my like non-race car. I do want, like I said, do want to have, you know, I do want to do time attack with this eventually. God, it's so dirty. No rally. Car's too clean. Don't want to do that. But I do want to do some time attack. I've got way too much to do in the meantime and way too much to take care of, but you know, I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm finally just like, I want to drive. That's all I want to do is drive. And it took me a long battle with anxiety, and it took me a very long mental, you know, battle just to get to this point. And you know, that's my advice for you guys today is just I want to tell you guys that sometimes the battles you face in life, like they may seem life ending or life ruining, but sometimes they're just life altering enough to get you to where you're really supposed to be. I would never want to go back and relive any of that, but I tell you what, I wouldn't take back any of it either. And so, you know, sometimes you just got to realize, take things for face value in life. Life sucks sometimes, and the lessons that you have to learn to make yourself who you're supposed to be, those are hard lessons, but they're also invaluable. You couldn't trade them for the world, and you shouldn't. So, I don't know. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Can't wait to update you guys on the Z and get some more content. I was going to do some driving down this video, but literally don't have time. I've got to go to Flower Mound right now. So I love you all. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.